Alabama are the kings of the SEC. If there was a college football dynasty in the 2010s, it would be them. With 6 national championships under Coach Saban, they were unstoppable. They were dominant. They were legendary. Now, the only problem with being Goliath is when David somehow, someway, prevails. Tennessee has lost to Alabama 15 straight times. Most of these games are blowouts, a select couple are close, and Tennessee is ready to end this streak and make a statement. The score is knotted up at 49. A field goal would win it. Kicker Chase McGrath trots out onto the field to attempt the 40-yarder. If Alabama were to lose this game, what will happen next is inevitable. Roll the tape.
Chase McGrath for the win for the Volunteers. From 40. On the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
Tennessee has done it. After years of trying, Tennessee has knocked off Alabama. The tide has changed and fans flood the field. Emotions erupt while the field goal posts are being carried towards the river. This is college football. Just look at the scene. This is what the sport is all about. Tennessee has finally conquered Alabama. The worst part about being the best team in college football is that there will be a field storm every time you lose. Now, I go to the University of South Carolina. Our football team can be very disappointing. Wins can be scarce, but let me tell you something. Our fans, they're loyal. Whenever South Carolina has a home game, Williams-Brice Stadium is packed. You can hear echo throughout the stadium while the students go crazy for Sandstorm. When South Carolina has a close game, fans will get rowdy. They can smell victory even though it often slips away. This is the case for when South Carolina played Alabama this past year. Up 22-14 with 10 minutes left to go, South Carolina fans could sense an upset. Slowly but surely, Alabama drove down the field, and they kept on finding ways to extend the drive and approach the end zone. At this point, the cockpit was lining up right behind the bushes. Students were ready to make the leap once the game was over. The only problem? It was still a one-possession game. It was not guaranteed that South Carolina would win. On 2nd and goal, Bernard gets into the end zone and Cuevas catches the 2-point conversion to even the score. On the ensuing possession, Lenora Sellers fumbles in his own territory, which leaves South Carolina fans speechless. While they almost hold Alabama to 3, Bernard is able to escape down the sideline to seal South Carolina's fate. It's over. Alabama sneaks by, and dreams are crushed. A field storm against Alabama won't happen. A memory in the making is erased. Everyone is shocked, pissed off, just imagining what could have been. I know it may seem like a trademark of our current generation for fans to rush the field, but this tendency, it's been going on for decades. Enter the play. Just Google it. It's the first thing that will appear in your browser.
Harmon will probably try to squib it, and he does. Ball comes loose, and the Bears have to get out of bounds. Rodgers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rodgers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone. Will it count? The Bears have scored, but the bands are out on the field. There were flags all over the place. Everybody's milling around on the field. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh my God! The most amazing, sensational, dramatic, heartrending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won.
In modern day football, that wouldn't happen, right? Surely no one would rush the field before the game is over, right? With advancements in technology, We should be covered, right? There's no way this would. Well, damn. It happened. It's 4th and goal. Arizona State has 7 seconds to ice the game. Wait a second. Why is it 4th and goal at the 50? That's strange. Never mind. It just turns out that this is Arizona State's strategy. Run backwards and run clock. Now just chuck the football as high and as far as you can. And the game's over. Arizona State is now locked in the playoffs. And Scatterboo is free to get CTE. The game's over, right? Wait a second. Is there still 1 second left on the clock and the game is not over? What a mess. What if BYU and Retzlaff pull this off? Can you imagine? Arizona State fans would flip out and it's caught at the 1 yard line and they... Wow. 1 yard. That's all they needed. 1 yard. We were inches away from having the most shocking ending in college football history. Now, let's take a closer look at why fans storm the field. First off, let me say this. Storming the field isn't if, but when. If a school has to wait 100 years, I could guarantee you they will storm the field.
All around the country, I mean, any given Saturday, it could be you storming that field. It could be South Carolina. It could be North Carolina. It could be Wisconsin. It could be anywhere.
You want to be a part of that moment, and it may be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's about the build-up, the hype, the adrenaline, the narrative, a storybook ending. Sometimes a field storm is just meant to be. No matter what you do, no matter the consequences, field storming will happen. It's inevitable. But let's think about this. When UNC beats Duke, what do students typically do? Well, they rush Franklin Street, and that is the place to be. And that's where students gather, party, and celebrate like it's 1999. However, UNC isn't the type of team to rush the court, right? I mean, they're a blue blood for crying out loud. They're a powerhouse. They're a threat in March Madness every year, and they're usually ranked. Now, UNC was 14th in the country when they beat Duke. Pretty impressive. But what makes this time different? How come UNC stormed the court?
We weren't leading the whole game. When Seth Trimble got the ball, it was slow motion. All eyes were on him. Everyone was just like this. The whole place went crazy. It was so loud. So many people jumping up and down, screaming. Seth Trimble, he has been with us all 4 years. So it was cool to see him get the game-winning shot. A perfect 3, swish. It was beautiful. For UNC students, it's our Super Bowl.
Clearly, it's situational. Let's say UNC beat Duke by 15 to 20 points. This court storm does not happen. If UNC was ranked higher than Duke, the same concept applies. But due to the gravity of the moment with a game-winning shot, that changed everything. Duke's head coach, John Shire, let's just say he had other words. He claimed that his staff members got punched in the face, how some of them got trampled, and how it is complete and utter chaos. Now, this is not the first time Duke has had to deal with injury precautions for a court storm. After Wake Forest stunned Duke, Demon Deacon fans took over the arena. Kyle Filipowski, Duke's 7-foot forward, was walking to get off the court. He wasn't suspecting anything, and then boom! The result? Filipowski hobbled off with an ankle injury, putting his status in jeopardy. Thankfully, Filipowski was able to play in the next game, but there's always the what-if factor. Now, let's take a look at women's basketball. What's the first name you think of? There's a good chance it's Caitlin Clark. After Ohio State upset Iowa in overtime, an overzealous fan collided with Caitlin Clark, who had to be escorted off the court by the police. Damn. Imagine if the face of the league was sidelined for the remainder of the season. Interest would drop and ratings would tank, all because of an ignorant fan. Court storm entry scares, they shouldn't be this frequent. I mean, it's so hard to plan for. Hold on. This is genius. School should have a plan for these occurrences. What if I told you there's actually a court storm that is planned? At Taylor University in Upland, Indiana, a court storm is an annual tradition for students. And get this, it doesn't even happen at the end of the game. Most times, this happens in the first quarter. They call it Silent Night. On Silent Night, Taylor University schedules an opponent they know they will destroy. When the game begins, you just have the sounds of basketball. Player chatter, squeaky sneakers, whistle blowing. That's all you could hear. Until when Taylor University hits 10 points, fans dash out of their seats while players rush to their benches. It's pandemonium. People are going bananas. You see that guy over there? He's dressed as a banana. It's a madhouse, alright. And you see that other guy? Okay, no, he's not dressed as... Wait, what are you doing here, Miami, Ohio? Now is not the time. What is your swim team doing here? I did not invite you. Please, just do not get me demonetized. Anyways, let's get back on track.
I fractured my arm. Had to get surgery on it, 18 stitches later, and here I am today.
Wait, what? We have a broken arm? I thought that the injury scares were over. Well, guess I'm wrong. Unlike South Carolina choking away a 30-3 lead to Texas A&M, which I'll never get over still, they actually defeated them in remarkable fashion back in 24. At the time, A&M was ranked 10th in the country, and they had an undefeated conference record. After being knotted up at 20 apiece at the half, South Carolina was scorching hot with multiple electric plays to secure the home upset. Then the chaos broke loose, and Ian was the unlucky fan who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
It's okay, I'm a senior. It's my last hurrah, and I get down there, and you could just see masses of people coming in from the upper student section. People were running. People were falling in the bushes. People were losing shoes in the bushes. I got to the top and I was climbing over, and then next thing you know, somebody pushes me from the back. My arms were extended like that. I could not feel anything in my arms. I went to the ER that night. There were 5 or 10 of us in there. As far as like getting on the field, I definitely think that's the biggest issue where people get injured, because you have that sense of adrenaline rushing. I don't regret rushing the field. It was an experience, but like, it was such a dumb move on my part. It could have all been avoided.
Okay, so everything seems pretty typical so far. Some people love field storming and some people oppose it for safety concerns. Now, let's enter a new player into the picture. Let's welcome the dark arts of field storming. And what if I told you, if you win the game, you can lose the game? You heard it right. I said it. Vanderbilt could score more points than Alabama, and if Vanderbilt storms the field, they can lose the game. Is this a hypothetical? Yes, but only for now. In the not so distant future, this is a real possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the forfeit.
I think the way it will stop, that everybody will get everybody's attention to realize that this is dangerous, is if the home team forfeits the game. That will get people to stop.
Okay, Alabama, I see that this is your secret plan to go undefeated. I caught you. But let's be serious here. Is this the correct way to address field storming? Do measures need to be as drastic as giving the other team the victory? Where is the line? Is there even a line? And should we limit how many field storms each team has in a season? Because a forfeit, that would be catastrophic. A field storm here and there is fine, right?
Speaking of fines, did you know that every time an SEC school rushes the field, they have to pay a grand total of $500,000? But it's worth it, right?
it just depends on the magnitude of a game. If you're playing a top 5 opponent and you beat them at home, I think the university makes enough money where they could fork it out for one game just to soak it all in for the student experience, because you might never get to see that again in your life.
I agree with the fact that your school should be fined for rushing the field, just so you understand that it should be used for special occasions. In my eyes, that Bama game was worth every penny.
Alabama fans, I know I keep on bringing you up over and over again, but hey, I got a little bit of good news for you. FSU, the team that field-stormed you, they had karma bite them back.
A couple weeks later, they had the same fate against Virginia.
However, we're going to go ahead and talk about your loss first. 2023, FSU, they're undefeated, and they're in the playoffs, right? How would a Power 4 school miss the playoffs with that type of resume? Well, if their quarterback Jordan Travis is injured, that is the only case where that happens. Isn't that just straight up bullshit? Well, Georgia decimated them in their bowl game by a score of 63-3, so maybe the correct decision was made. Next season gets better, right? National championship hopes? Nah, only 2 wins on the season, the worst in recent memory. Ouch. How does a school recover from that abomination? I'll let Ethan take the reins.
College football is really my bread and butter, but I love watching the Noles play on Saturdays. My favorite football game ever was definitely the Alabama game to open this season, and it was magical. And I remember, there was a collective moment where I think we all realized we were going to storm the field. We all started pushing down, and then the game's over, and we all start jumping over.
And this rebooted, refreshed, re-energized Florida State team knocking off number 8 Alabama. The first big field stormer of the year is underway. How good is it to have ball back, folks?
The players I saw when I stormed the FSU field, a lot of the players got caught in it on purpose. They wanted to be down there and celebrate with the fans, and they loved it. It was awesome. You know, it's a spur of the moment thing. Let it be a spur of the moment thing. Let it be a chaotic thing. I had people text me after that Bama game being like, why'd you guys storm the field? You don't understand that was the biggest game of my life. It was insane. I just watched FSU go 2-10, and then I watched them beat Alabama. You have to understand what that meant to me. Look at Virginia, man. That was probably the best day of some of those kids' lives. But I don't fault those kids for running on that field. They're doing what I would have done if I went to Virginia.
Still riding strong after beating Bama, Florida State was poised to continue their get-back season. Now, Virginia was looking to be a sneaky contender in the ACC. After a high-scoring affair, Virginia was one play away from winning. 4th down, double OT, it's all or nothing. Take this moment in, and if you blink once, you'll miss it. This is the mother of all field storms. Welcome to college football.
4th down and 12 to keep the game alive. In overtime number 2. Here comes the blitz. Castellanos in trouble. Heaves one towards the end zone. It's over. Virginia has done it.
You're lying to yourself if you don't think that was a scene. That's what it's about.